Hi, welcome to session 8. So the cash management story continues. Let's start with a recap of session 7. So in session 7, we covered the product Bible or the product manual, as a lot of people call it. And if you haven't seen session 7, then please do, as this product Bible is a very, very important component if you want to scale your product. The other interesting piece that we covered in session 7 was how to deal with headcount constraints. Now, because this was part of Citibank, which was a multinational company, they had constraints on how many people we could hire, and we needed a lot more people, so we had to find a way around it. Now, in this particular case, it was this particular constraint that we had to find a solution to. But in many other disruptive innovation cases that you may try or come across, you'll find maybe a different set of constraints, but there will always be some constraints where you have to find some innovative solutions. Okay, now what I want to talk about is a very important component. Now we are in the sort of summer of 1986. We have run for about a year. It's been a really, really hectic year with all kinds of things happening. And we are growing like crazy. Our 3 products, City Clear, City Speed, and City Check, are growing a lot. But each of them has certain problems. We have rapidly growing people and, sort of getting control is a little overwhelming at times, especially for me. So with all this, and because, I generally felt that this was my baby, if I didn't control it, then, it would all become a big problem. Now, as you'll see later, that was not all quite correct, because I had put a pretty good team in place, and more importantly, the team was very good. So I had too much of an exaggerated opinion of myself that I was very important to this whole effort. But anyway, as few things started going wrong, I kind of took them on personally, and I had a kind of a personal burnout. It was also probably because I ended up getting a bad attack of chickenpox, which you don't want to get as an adult. And all that combined to put me in hospital and out of commission for about a month. Now, in hindsight, that was probably a very good thing that happened, because even though I was away, and I purposely stayed away from work just to recover, and I didn't really bother about what was going on with the business, because partly I couldn't. But when I came back, I found that quite a few things were running quite well, and the team had done a fantastic job. So I think the learning from this is that, never overestimate yourself, and be very careful that you do not burn out. Now, one of the other practices that I want to talk about is how we instituted monthly meetings, because now we had different functions. We had operations, we had sales, we had product, we had implementation, and like anything growing large, each person had concerns. We were also regional in the sense that we had sales teams in the 4 metros. So all of them were not together, and we were a reasonably large organization. So for all the key people in the team, I made it a point to get them all to Mumbai, and we would spend the whole day looking at our targets for the next month, what transpired in the previous month, sharing best practices, holding people's feet to the fire, those who weren't necessarily performing up to potential, and having a very open discussion where if implementation was having a problem with sales or product or whatever it was, where we could talk about various things in a very open and frank manner, and then we would end up making decisions. And they would be in place immediately, and then we go on and execute over the next month till the next monthly meeting. Of course, we had the daily control report to make sure that everything was staying on track. But the combination of these monthly meetings and the daily control report, and the monthly meetings were, while they were very serious, they were also a little bit of fun and a lot of bonding, because we all got to know each other really well in there, and that really helped us. So also around this time, the question was, what next, right? We had these products, but how would we survive competition? Because now competition was starting to come up. How would we keep growing? And we had this thing of being fairly paranoid. We knew that competition could poach people from us. So how do we retain our best people so that they don't get poached? How do we look to what all we can add to the product mix? And gradually, as you'll see in the later sessions, we realized that our definition of what we were selling also changed. And that was a major factor in our achieving phenomenal success. So that's all for this session. We will continue the rest in the next session. Thank you very much for listening to me.